Good evening, honored guests, and good evening, graduating class of 2018. Can you believe that you're here at your school leaving ceremony? 13 years of school, 2,366 days of homework and school lunches, 709,800 minutes of class time, and millions of seconds spent amongst teachers, classmates, and friends. When Ms. Sortome asked if I would be willing to speak to 2018's graduating class, I, like many writers do when they begin writing, began by asking, what do I want to say? What do I want my audience to know? And of course, as a writer, I know that cliches are to be avoided at all costs. You guys have learned this in English. However, I also know that cliches are used in writing because often they are so very true. And so, this is what I have written for you today. 10 of my cliches. My truths. Truths I wish I knew 25 years ago, when I was 18 years old and graduating. Some of which I've learned by knowing all of you for these past 5 years. The students of Burn Creek's graduating class. So, here's thing number 1. Little things matter. These are things that may not seem all that important to the person doing them, but are noticed, are meaningful to the person on the receiving end. Like when one of your students shows up at your door on the first day of grade 8 with his older brother, who is also a student at Burn Creek, so that he can introduce himself to you. Sadiq showed up that day, hand held forward, ready to shake my hand with a huge smile and an open heart. I'll never forget that little grade 8's face. Or when students stay behind at the end of the day to pile up the chairs in your room. Like Daniel and Katya do, many days. Or when one of your students brings a piece of art back from Vietnam and shares a bit of their life in their small village back home, like Namsun did. These little things are things that matter. They are the best things in life, the people and places and gestures and moments that will help create the narrative of your life. Try and record them in your memory. Thing number 2, be a kid sometimes. Have fun, laugh, be silly. Remember to continue to do things you used to do when you were little. Do this now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. When your mind doesn't tell you, I'm too old for this, or gets in the way of you saying yes to laughter and being silly and young. This includes telling a really good joke. So here's one that you may already know. How do you know when a pepper is mad? It gets all up in your face. Thing number 3, travel. There is no better way to figure out who you are than by experiencing places and people different from where you come from. And if you can't afford to travel, then get to know people from other places in the world. It is a part of what makes this class and our school such an amazing place to work and learn and live. Being at Burn is like traveling the world every day. The energy we see in our hallways is the same energy people talk about when they talk about their travels. And so, if you can't travel, spend time meeting people in their communities. Find out where they come from, their cultures, their world, their stories. It will feel like you've traveled the world. Thing number 4, there is strength in vulnerability. Vulnerability will make you stronger because it will open you up to others. You will be stronger because of those connections. And as math teachers are quick to remind us English teachers, 2 is always twice the value of 1. Number 5, no is a full sentence. Sometimes, in order for you to take care of others, you must learn to say no, so you can take care of yourself. Saying no is a way for you to take care of the most important person in your life, you. Number 6, fight for your dreams. No one else will fight as hard for those dreams as you will. You will be your dream's biggest champion. And even when people tell you that it won't happen or that it's not meant to be, go after those dreams anyway. Take that risk. Take that chance. Make the sacrifice. It's worth the chase. Number 7, trust your gut. It's your body's way of telling you that something is true. More often than not, it will be. Thing number 8, your people will lift you up. When you are feeling your best and when you are at your worst, and if they don't, when they're not, then they're not your people. Give generosity back to them when they are at their best and at their worst. This will bind you to each other in the best way and make you feel more whole and a lot less alone. Number 9, when you are most scared of using your voice, remember that is the exact moment you should. At that moment you feel that it's easy to use your voice and you can speak up, that's when maybe you shouldn't. That is when you should just listen. Thing number 10, honesty's hard. It just is. If it was easy, everybody would be honest all of the time. It is also one of the few things that allows us to live with honor. Thing number 11, when your family respects you and loves you, remember to respect and love them back. They have lived a life filled with challenges and have gone without so that they could provide for you. Also, they passed school without Google, so they deserve props. Put some respect on their name. Number 12, identity matters. Always be proud of who you are. This includes your identity right now, today. Our identities are created by a number of things, and one of those things is the language you use every day. These are the words and phrases you use to represent you. This language defines you. Okay, Jameson, Simran, Angelina, Ruthann, get ready. When I graduated high school, some of the phrases we used included "sup, B," and "it ain't all that," and "as if." Today, the language in Burns hallways sounds a bit different. It sounds a little bit like this. "Hey bruh, what up? I'm so cheesed, I need to make up an assignment. Can you sauce me some of those notes from Miss Purdy's class? My notes are sick, bruh. Yeah, I'll let you borrow them, but the next time I need your notes, you'll let me borrow them, right? Say swear. Swear. Okay, I will, but only if your notes are the juice. Let me see them. Oof. Your notes are tight. Those notes have low-key and high-key information. Yo. You slayed those notes. I bet. Say less, you can borrow. Yeet, yeet. The words have changed a bit since 1993, but the shared identity, the shared language, that has stayed the same. It's a part of who you are. So now that I've shared my truths with you, I want to share just a little story with you. It's really, really short, but it's an important one. It's a story as much your story as it is mine. It's a story of us, of Bern. Right before being asked to speak to the graduating class, I was in our school library helping one of my grade 12 students upload a form into his BCIT application. I offered to help him because he said in his words, "I'm not great with computer things." You know who you are, Reyes. Two of his friends were sitting with him at a nearby table, and as I asked him if he needed help with any of these other techie things, he said, clearly and very metaphorically, "No, it's okay, Miss Ferreira, thanks, but my friends will help me." He said, "My friends will help me." And that is the way it is with this graduating class. This group of amazing humans. Time and again, I've seen you say hello to each other in the morning and later at the end of the day. I've seen you make each other laugh. I've seen you be honest and kind and generous. I've seen you use your voices for one another. I have seen you share your fears and your hopes and your dreams with each other. I have seen you help each other when you have struggled, and I have seen you lift each other up. I have seen you provide for each other. I've seen you make each other better. And you have shared all of this with me, with us, with all of the adults in our building. You have seen each other through 5 years of life, 5 years of change, 5 years of growing up. This is what family does. Family constructs a home. This is the community you have created. It is a family. It has been an absolute honor being a part of your family, our family, and you know how it is with family, familia, as they say in Portuguese. No matter how far you go, you will always, always have Burn Creek as a home.